It's the 21st day of January 2025, and it's Tuesday. Good morning, and welcome to Good Morning Anambra Show. Today happens to be a special day.
A special day. That's why you're wearing pink today. You want to be pinky.
All right. Good morning.
Good morning. Hope you slept well. I didn't need to ask you that.
I did.
It's all over you.
I did. All right. Thank God for a beautiful day like this. And of course, we are all hale and hearty.
Yes, we're all hale and hearty. So we ask you to join us as we bring you different programs that will make your day on Good Morning Anambra, ABS Television.
All right. My name is Noye Wokoye.
And my name is Ifi Onachuku.
All right. As a tradition on ABS, we begin the show with a press review. You're welcome. You're welcome to the press review. In the studio, we've been joined by an analyst, Ifeanyi Ogono Ebunam.
Happy New Year.
Same to you. It's a pleasure being here. Yeah. Today I'm sandwiched by two veteran broadcasters. I hope I will survive.
You will. Why not?
He's a media person.
You're equal to the task. Any time, any day. Good morning and welcome. On press review, as you know, we take our time to look at stories making their headlines first on ABS website. And of course, we look at other national dailies to see what actually is happening around Nigeria.
Normally we go east first because we are in the south. So that's why we'll take you to ABS website news, where we have Soludo State's resolve to eliminate insecurity in all forms. More reactions, trail launch of Operation Udogachi security outfit. And Akwa Ibom state government confirms cholera outbreak in Emirake community. And finally, going international, we have Trump declares national emergency on energy after sworn in as US 47th president. So these are what we have on ABS website. Good morning. So, if
like you said, we start from home.
Yeah.
Because east, west, north, and south home is still the
best.
Exactly.
The governor's outright confrontation to the security challenges is a welcome idea, but I pray that he sustains that, because we all know that security is very expensive. Nothing can be compared to life. And then the embrace by Anambra, I was checking online this morning, where the Okusigo local government chairman by himself is leading the onslaught. Well, the only part I want Anambra to understand is that the war is not against the traditional believers or traditional worshippers. The fight is against those who fake traditional worship. It's not against the indecent traditional worshippers. And I will also tell you that the decent traditional worshippers have unso and Nsana. They have alo. So these things that are happening, the issues about kidnapping, the issues about kite, actually, in all ramification, are not the real core practice of Ndi Omenana. Ndi Omenana nwere nsọ. Aga kafada adina obubu of any nature. Maọbụ mmetọ. But in this situation where, anyway, it's what we see when society fails in some aspects of their life, because we all know that now to the say na ada akuzilo ofeke akwụkwọ mkpọrọgwụ na mkpa akwụkwọ maka na ikuziri ali ofeke alo emebe, and unfortunately that's what's happening. That's what's happening. You see in quotes charlatans branding themselves as traditional medicine.
They now learn it, you know.
Normally, no, even in
they
the
now do
olden days.
apprenticeship.
Yeah, even in the olden days, you know.
They do?
Yes.
I thought no, something like that.
Omage. ị ga-enwe mmụọ ọlụ na-amụ ọlụ n'aka gị, and part of ndị anwa na-amụ ọlụ n'aka gị bụkwa ndị ọma, maka ọ na-esi na nwata. A sị na ọkụkọ bụ oke na-esi n'eju, ọ na-esi na nwata afọrọ anya asị kpọta onye a nke a nso. Even in the family, in the real African traditional setting, you see a father, he studies his children. I
think this will form a very big topic for another day.
So
yes, so I think it's going
this
to
is where we are getting it totally wrong. Ofeke no katazia obula akpanwa adibia. Hey, hello Mel.
Okay, we move on. Let's look at the first paper for review, the Daily Times newspaper. Or is there any other story you will want to talk about? Okay.
And cholera,
cholera.
Cholera borrow your mate.
And people travel anyhow.
We have a KTC that pumps in people in and out of Anambra. We have Ndoroboro community very close to them in Akwa Ibom. They're from Abia State. So when Abia line are bringing in people into Anambra, what becomes of us? So the Commissioner for Health, Oluwe Lukwan, and then I think the federal government shouldn't leave this matter to the state, because Akwa Ibom is a melting pot.
There's something that actually happened when I was taking my daughter back to school. They asked all the students to come back with a pack of face mask. Yes.
Yeah, because of the dust.
I think that's being proactive.
Yes, also it's very necessary. And then I think, well, Erika, because some of these things, I think by now we should have had vaccines for malaria, vaccines for cholera, and so when we have this situation.
What are the vaccines?
That's what I mean. So what are we doing the medical researches for? What?
I think now that tech funds has been stopped. That particular project, according to some people who gave testimonies, had to field and then sponsor a lot of researchers in the university. So I don't know if the scrapping of that particular project, that particular
is the best.
Yes, in university, is it going to help us now?
We have
researchers
for
such things.
One problem too many. Nice programs, most times wrongly implemented. Then secondly, I still maintain the essence of having the average universities is for research and community development. If this is not in place, it's not worth being a university. There must be that synergy between the industries and the universities producing these students. Ndị akọlụ, ndị hands-on skills. That's not it. The bane of Nigeria on development is that disconnect. It's a complete disconnect between the industries. Our national plans have nothing to do with our development. Nothing, not at all. Because the national plans are supposed to key in to our educational structure and infrastructures in such a way that that's when people shout our japa, I get upset. China sends us engineers, in quotes, because they have seen how deep you have to dig to stand a building. Go to Kai Cave. Most of their houses are now under. People don't live on top. How many of our engineers can do tunnel? Not to talk about housing people.
All right, finally. Honestly, a lot of topics you're bringing up, in the course of the discussion. But let's quickly move to the first paper for review this morning, the Daily Times. Yes, the Daily Times newspaper. The banner headlines read, reps advocate more funding for MDAs. We have a picture in front of that paper. His Excellency Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu of Lagos, receiving Chairman NIDCAM, Honorable Dr. Abike Dabiri Erewa, and Magana Pagi, co-founder African Ancestry during a visit to the governor in his office in Alausa Monday. That's yesterday. And of course, tanker explosion. PDP blames tragedy on hardship. We can also see NIMET unveils 2025 seasonal climate prediction, February 4. Sunrise Power Suit, why I won't testify against FG, former AGF and Doka speaking. All right, these are some of the stories we are trending on the Daily Times newspaper.
so that we don't
Okay,
have two
with
papers.
all right.
Then we have the screaming headlines, 50% tariff hike. Nigerians may spend 6.74 trillion
Million
naira
on gold.
calls. And then we have
A
Ryder.
rider.
Telecoms Group insists hike should have been lower, threatening suit ahead of February implementation date. Suit. Then going up at the masthead, we have this. Court condemns media trial, denies EFCC arrest warrant request. Says Otudeko orders not properly served. And then we have the riders there. I served FBN with dedication and integrity, says Enosanyo. And then I'll defend my reputation aggressively, says Otudeko. Going up there, we have farmer hider crisis. More northern states adopt Ruga to cut clashes. Can you beat that? And then Niger explosion, death toll hits 98. And then we'll go down, after where we have Trump returns as 47th US president, rejects transgender illegal immigration. And then we also have Sanwo-Olu pledges to work with new Lagos speaker. You can find that on page 6. Definitely we have 6 killed, 3 injured in Ogun, multiple crashes. That should be clashes. Okay, crashes, that's an accident. And then going down, the last thing we'll take there is court adjourns Dangote refineries 100 billion naira suit against marketers. The story about petroleum subsidy and petroleum hike. It's still unfolding.
I feel like laughing
What do you
because I think Dangote doesn't understand himself. Nigeria is a free market.
100 billion naira.
You are talking. That's just arrant nonsense. I have right to buy from wherever I like. And if we are talking
You
about
rent the bike from wherever you like.
yes, you are. Madam, the marketers must not buy from Dangote. That's the simple truth. They will buy from anywhere they like. That's what we talk free market economy. They have right to import. You see, when we want to solve a problem, we should solve the problem. It's not the problem is not whether the money is or the money is not available. The question is that Okadibo can wake up tomorrow and go and import my fuel. Then we're talking about free market economy. But when we are creating monopoly,
That's exactly the thing that is going to make the
prices regulate itself. But when we are creating monopolies,
just like in cement.
Business.
Just like in cement.
He's doing business. He's no more in monopoly. So until we stop creating these mini monopolies, we're not talking anything. We're not talking anything. The marketers have right to buy from Benjamin Nigeria Limited or Musa Abdullahi. And we have others. Arano is an importer. Marketers can buy from him. And I like what Arano is doing. And Northwest. They import, they distribute, they hawk, they sell.
At what price?
Madam, come into the business. When you come, sell at your own price. Simple. Make market until we come to that level and not creating these discrete monopolies.
In other words, what you're trying
What
to
he's trying to do is to muscle them to himself.
What you're trying to
It's not
advocate
possible.
was what happened in Telkom.
In Telkom,
when
you should stop all these nonsense stories.
You know, that brought down the prices. You know, before
It
now,
will crash on its own.
how much you buy a SIM card. And
It will
what
crash on
service.
its own. Allow marketers. The marketers should even be given licenses. And moreover, why should you have to license them if we are talking about free market economy? You don't need to license me. What you need to do is to regulate the products I bring in. Whatever I'm bringing in, there should be a standard. If it's not up to that standard, you can stop it. But if it's within the standards or the threshold approved for importation, allow me to import. I mean, market there. I know our traders will go into this business and then the prices will crash on its own. Then we look at Trump. Well, the story has it that he's even an immigrant.
I know you look at Trump.
Yes, I know. I know I will talk to him about him. He's an immigrant, stopping other immigrants from coming in. Yeah, Ketona Pop to black.
But take a look at what he's doing. Like this morning, I was talking with my daughter. I was trying to explain what happened to her, and I told her that majority of people who have access abroad, what they do is when your wife is pregnant, you just go there, give birth to a baby, baby becomes a citizen.
Okay.
Burdening the country, then you come back.
Madam, have you heard of economic exploitation? Why is he pulling out from Paris Agreement? Because he knows they're going to pay heavily. The crisis in all African countries are caused by exploitation, economic exploitations. Why are they mining our lithium?
Who is mining your
Question mark.
Who's mining? Yes.
Because they will come and they will cajole our leaders. Because most of our leaders, yes, look at France. France the other day was telling the Francophone countries that they will start paying them for defending them. And they now asked them, the soldiers you picked from the African countries to go and fight Second World War for you, have you done any repatriation?
But Niger told them to leave and they've left.
It was after that Macron made a statement and they now started telling him that we'll now start asking you. Look at, there's an army group in France, they call them Legion. Legion are 75% non-indigenous, defending the golds of France and the bushes around France. They are not French people. And they are never classified as French people. Until we end this economic exploitation, we are not going anywhere.
But are you not, don't you think that if African leaders should start thinking like Trump?
They muscle them.
Like Trump, wait.
They muscle them.
Trump
they have no independence.
Trump is probably very patriotic about America. So why can't African countries be patriotic about their
Madam,
country?
He's a transactional president. Trump is a transactional president. Why is he pulling off from Paris Agreement? Because it's affecting the American economy. The Chinese have taken over the...
Of course now.
I'm coming, madam.
Madam,
let's take it. Let's be honest. If we go by climate agreement, you discover that advanced countries, in quote, because they are not advanced, they are thieves. The advanced countries will pay heavily to Africa. That is the problem in Paris Agreement. Because they are going to pay heavily for degrading the ozone layers. With all their stupid researches and whatever they think they are doing. Exploitation, continuous exploitation. Now, you see what we'll do? They will now move to Argentina, the Latin Americas, and go and devastate their economy, devastate their bushes, and run away. If not that, these guys were able to quickly tie some sections of herbal practice and pharmaceutical arrangement in such a way that you must now recognize the roots and where it comes from of whatever herbal, whatever you extract from all these trees and herbals to do your medicine. Otherwise, what they do is to go to South America, study those guys in the Amazon, whatever they use to cure their diseases, they will come up to the industrialized nation, the so-called industrialized nation, and patent it.
The thing is, wait, we're not doubting the things you're saying, but I'm saying, can't African leaders emulate Trump and become patriotic? You're talking about traditional medicine now. Somebody told me that a man came to Nigeria. The mother gave him onubu, that's bitter leaf, the sticks, the stalk. He gave it to her. She gave it to him, and he went to UK and planted it. It's now feeding the guy. Companies are buying it and producing capsules.
Madam,
do you understand? Why can't we do it in our country? Let's be patriotic.
I agree.
Let's make this another topic for another day.
But let's know the truth. One.
Yes.
Ade bunyonya ago ni nyaje bunyonya no no. Onya ago amaro ya. Until we come to understand some of these principles, you discover that if you don't agree with them, they will muscle you off.
Let's try not to agree.
We are still watching the...
I hope you're not trying to say we are hungry.
Please, let's talk about... I just want us to, just briefly talk about this court condemning media trial denies EFCC arrest warrant request. And this reminds me of the story of the medical doctor, the so-called medical doctor who killed someone, an EFCC official in defense. And now, the university is denying. Said they don't know that guy wasn't a part of them. Do you understand? NMA says he's not a part. So what is happening,
Madam?
Must EFCC use Gestapo style to arrest?
This is my question. I'm not going to talk about Nigerians that are very good in denials. Well, a failure is an orphan. Success has brothers, sisters, and cousins and aunties. Why must you creep into? I remember how Rochas was arrested. They have to pull off his roof. Look, my brother, why not give the person?
And now where is Rochas after that?
That's the issue.
And it's demeaning EFCC.
With the volume of insecurity in Anambra, as at the time they came for that arrest, won't the man defend himself? Did they give him invitation? Did they serve him any notice? And the gang style of them coming, they believe they are above whatever they want to do. The law permits you. I don't have issues. Mana,
the law permits you to break into somebody's house?
No, there's section, to arrest.
To arrest.
Yes.
You serve arrest warrant now.
You serve arrest warrant for the processes.
Investigations, then you serve arrest warrant.
You start following processes. But here, the gangster arrangement of Well, we are talking security, and we want security in Anambra.
No,
let's
we want to
not
thank,
delve.
we want to thank the courts for trying to demystify.
But it's true. It's true.
Yes,
Then we even look at this issue here, and in Sunrise Power suit. Why I won't testify against? I 100% stand with Andoaka.
Okay.
You know, that Mambila suit. I've been waiting for that the Mambila power station to come because it would have solved a lot of problems about our power sector. But it's unfortunate that, anyway, these are the issues. Because the foreign fund that came with a disguise and a guise to milk us.
All right.
Unfortunately, it failed. Now that it has failed, they are now beginning to call people.
Do you know my
calling me?
is that they are succeeding with the help of...
I think there are so many...
Let me tell you something.
Like security. You know, all these, people don't want to use that, but all
because we are after security.
They were actually very hard and succeeded in whatever they are doing because they had insiders who were dancing the same song with them. If they had come and met a stiff opposition,
because actually, if Mambila had taken off, we would have light, but in comma.
Why should there be
just like Ogun?
Please, let's
the issues in Ogun, you know. So when it now fails, you start fighting who? Fight who?
All right, let's run. The Guardian newspaper is next in our lineup. Let's see stories coming from The Guardian. 104 facilities to enlist as pilot phase records 2,819 beneficiaries. Anxiety as Trump returns to power, recognizes only 2 genders. That's the picture in front of The Guardian newspaper. EFCC arraigned Samcon, ex-MD, others on alleged 76 billion naira, $31.5 million fraud. Niger tank explosion, death toll rises to 98 as Agric Minister mourns victims. Less than 1,000 mines active as NMCO issues 7,000 mining licenses. Police foil bandit attacks, rescue 207 trafficked children. Reps declare Tinubu's 595 billion naira allocation to intelligence inadequate. Now I'm unsure of unemployment statistics in Nigeria, says Labour Minister. Nigerians to pay 50% more for calls, data, SMS. And of course, healthy economy without impact on average Nigerian worries senators. FG's a free cesarean sector. Okay, that's the banner headline there. 104 facilities to enlist as pilot phase records 2,819 beneficiaries. Now, the last story coming from The Guardian, but not the least, court condemns media trial. Okay, we've seen that before.
Okay, so
all right.
Vanguard, we have to be very brief about Vanguard, where we have ahead of 2027 why opposition can't upstage ruling party. APCC is talking top. And then we have the riders, greed of political actors, rule of money, and pressure from constituents, fear of losing political relevance. And then we have any government in power, AG, okay, that's the acronym, AGIP orientation, absence of a second address, absence of internal party democracy, state capture by ruling party, and then loss of faith in electoral umpire. Okay, we have elevated inflation, a major economic challenge, says Wale Edu. And if we go up, we will see where we have Edo Global Tribunal, journalists attacked as DSS, APC supporters clash. Then from Wabara, we have I won't join issues with Wike. Then Trump is saying I was saved by God to make America great again.
It's okay.
Okay. This Trump, are you anti-Trump?
I'm not anti anybody, but don't come to. Is Trump qualified to be American president? A tax evader, somebody who is sentenced of crime.
Americans haven't said that anyway. So
the court gave him a judgment against him.
Okay, let's talk about it. Let's leave America.
Who elected him?
That's the issue. So when they come preach democracy to some of us, I tell people always domesticate it.
Okay, let's talk about this telecom issue from Guardian.
Okay.
Talked about
The hike.
But what are you expecting?
50%.
What were you expecting? Are they not operating within the sector of Nigeria?
Networks are Nigerians' best friend now. When you're lonely, you talk to your phone, you laugh.
It's
smile,
inability of our administrators to understand why. In fact, if it's possible for them, they will scrap it. You know, that's my field. I started whatever I'm doing from telecom marketing, and I think I understand they are operating within the same sector. The cost of energy is expensive, and you want these base stations to run. The base stations must run, and if they don't run, then we're doing nothing. So 20% of the banks are relying on them for data, for trunk calls, for whatever you do in the banks. Where are they going to get the money from?
But let's be realistic here, Ifeanyi.
Yeah.
You know, when you talk about marketing, the more people patronize a system,
The more equipment you require.
And the cost should come down, because a lot of people are patronizing
now.
the money.
and not just, excuse me, not just the price.
We know where I have problem
you
with
know,
them.
the
It's
efficiency,
the issues about good.
the
If you're talking
efficiency
about
of, you know,
efficiency, yes, I will tell you. Let me not call names. Some of them came to Nigeria with an obsolete equipment, especially the major ones, the Buhahas and all the rest of them. Those who don't, at a point, some of them were carrying trunks for each other. And then secondly, the federal government, in the cost of formulating the telecom industry, also created problems. What are the problems? They did not fine-tune sharing facility. Because if they had shared facility, we wouldn't have masts flying all over the whole places. You know, where if he is the first to build mast here, he will build in such a way that we share facility. So
They don't do it.
No, they don't share facility. If I'm to share facility with you, that's why you see at a point they'll tell you Glo does not call MTN. MTN does not, because for everything I do for you, you pay me. Instead of sharing facility. You know. So those were part of, when I tell people, the concept design of any program or project determines the final outcome. Once an error is, or once an idea, or once there's a deficiency in project formulation, forget that project. It's
well,
down to
I
fail.
think
So
when
that's
we
one of it.
when
Then
we get to
secondly,
the breed,
the cost.
you know, cross it, because this should make so many other people to come on board.
And secondly, if they had, if they had
and
shared
float
facility,
other facilities, so that people will move to.
If they had
if
shared
you don't
facility.
use Airtel, you use Glo. If you don't use Glo, you use MTN.
if they
Let's
had
get
shared
cheaper
facility
ones.
also, some of them wouldn't have, you know, deployed. They would have taken. So creating competition was also part of the reason why they allowed them cover as many areas as you want to cover, and then do whatever you want to do, you know. But then, as it is now, you know, I think the federal government should think of policies that will transmit Nigeria from this fossil energy into these renewable energies, and then maybe mandate the telecom industry with a lot of incentives given to them to lead this pilot project. Because if you check the volume of diesel and then environmental and degradation, ecological degradation emanating, you know, where you pour, once you pour fuel on the floor, on the ground, forget it, grass won't grow there for a number of years. Yeah, grass won't grow there for a number of years. So you discover that around those base stations, diesel and gasoline are being poured on the ground. So that's an ecological disaster. Okay. So if the federal government can look into the direction of, you know, giving these guys incentives in such a way that they bring in this technology, this solar and renewable energy technology to help power the telecom industry. But if they continue on this fossil energy, my dear, calls will keep it.
I think it's proper. I think we look into this FG's free cesarean section. You know, I've queried a lot of insurance policies of health insurances in this country. Now this is coming up, and they say 104 facilities to enlist as pilot phase. They have already recorded 2,819 beneficiaries. I don't know. This is about women's health, and of course to save lives and save unborn children.
You know why I'm laughing?
Who are you laughing?
Very good. We blab, we don't talk. We don't. Sometimes when we talk, we don't reason. Number one, if you are driving woman and child programs and you fail to, and then you are fighting mortality and morbidity rate without including cesarean section, you've just done nothing. Free immunization. There are immunization. What and all the rest of them. What becomes of it? What becomes of it? Oh, don't you want to stand up for Jesus? So that's the question. Those are the issues. How will you, once a woman takes in, the government is supposed to actually take over until that child is delivered. When that child is delivered, it becomes a citizen. Do you know how many death rates we record, infertile deaths we record per day? Let me give you a story. Do you know that the whole of
in just 10 seconds.
Do you know that the whole of Ayamelum, there's no incubator? The whole of Ayamelum, 7 communities, 8 communities, there's no single incubator. So the question is, what becomes of a woman who puts to bed? Yes.
Okay, so let's take all the papers at once.
At once, all right.
Well, here we have Daily Trust.
Okay.
With the screaming headline: Federal government awards Abuja Kaduna Highway contract to inactive company. Hey, I don't understand.
It's already a failure.
Now, PDP NEC meeting threatened as governors choose flops. Federal government approves 50% hike. We've taken care of that. Then we'll go down where we have Abbas leads discourse on food security at 22nd Daily Trust Dialogue.
Okay, moving on to the Nigerian Tribune. Another Trump era begins. Solid Minerals now doubts FG's commitment to diversify economy. You have riders there, summons finance, budget ministers, budget DG, Ministry of Solid Minerals, budget defense deferred. And of course, alleged 42.3 billion naira fraud. EFCC files a 13-count charge against Otudeko others. Move on.
Okay, you just want
The blueprint.
okay, blueprint.
Okay, the blueprint says we have other stories. Telecoms subscribers kick as NCC approves 50% tariff hike. We've seen that before. Troops eliminated Toji's son, scores of other terrorists. Defense headquarters are speaking. And of course, the picture in front is the inauguration of Trump as the 47th U.S. president.
See, Solid Minerals, do you think we are committed to
We're not serious.
harnessing that?
I like what the National Assembly did. We're talking about that. Yeah, for the first time. Talking about diversified economy. We are not. In fact, there is no community in Nigeria that doesn't have one solid mineral to develop. And then we are here playing lip service. It's pure lip service. First, what are the regulatory framework? It's not just pushing people to go into solid minerals. There must be a regulatory framework. What ought to be done? What needs to be done?
All right, as you talk about that, I think you talk about they awarded the contract to inactive company as we wrap up.
It's a failed
because of
project.
our time.
I don't waste time on failed project. It's a
Because of
failed
our
project.
time, okay.
It's a failed project. It's a failed one. You know why you about It's a failed project. There's no need wasting time on
But the
flood.
thing is that in all of these communities that have solid minerals, we have people who are mining.
Because there's no regulatory framework.
Licenses.
There's no regulatory
Who
framework.
authorized them? Is mining of solid minerals quite different from mining of petroleum products?
It's not.
That the federal government has.
Interest. Interest. It's just like one terrible mistake we made in Anambra. Yes, in trying to curb erosion, we said stop all mining, all sand mining. Very beautiful, no problem. Now, one thing about sand mining is that once you stop those activities, a lot of things happen. Now, we've stopped for a number of months now. What next? No discuss.
What should have been done?
Biodegradation. Biodegradation. Then, secondly, are you mining for what? Like Osilo Munike, we are mining to level a hill. And I quote where I am very conversant with. In Okozo, they are mining to level a particular section so that they can sell off their lands or develop it. No problem. But somewhere in Eurezukala, they are mining to dig hole. Knowing fully where they are erosion prone. So we must take time. We don't give armchair regulations and, get consultants who are germane.
There should be follow-up to any
Get consultants who are germane. who will come up with a proper, you understand, with a proper roadmap. We move from point A to point B. It's just like what is happening in AIRS in Anambra. You know, okay, we're moving from this point to this point. We're moving from this point to this point. We're moving from, you watch it, it's a clear program. And you see the revenue of Anambra is growing from 2 point something to 5 point something billion. You know, so if you don't have a proper roadmap, if you don't have people who think from their head and not from their toe, people who think from their head, not from their balls, then we go nowhere. And solid mineral is the way out. If we waste time, people will come and pick our lithium and use it to create atomic missiles that will waste all of us here. Look at the mercury crisis going on in the whole of Africa. In Ghana now, you can't get clean water. No clean water in Ghana.
All right. We can go on and on, but this is not much we can take on the press review. We'd like to thank you so much, Ifeanyi Ogunebunam, for coming this morning.
I survived it. Thank you. Now they didn't fry me like akara, you know.
Okay, thanks a lot for being a part of it all this morning on Press Review. We actually enjoyed your company. But don't go anywhere, right, Mommy?
All right. We have more coming up on Good Morning Anambra. Do stay.